my name is Emma and welcome to Faith Night Friday. Whew. It's been a nice long week. Okay, so just to remind you that if you want to know, we are on 1 Samuel chapter 10, and if you want to recap about what the whole Samuel saga is about, you can go back a few of my videos from the beginning and it'll break down what the story is, the chapters of Samuel is all about, which is, it is about 2 prophets and 2 kings. So I usually read all that in the beginning, and then from there I just go forward. So not really much that I wanted to talk about this time around, although I was really happy when I did remember Amy McPherson's her name from the song, that little song that I sang last week. And I was just talking that all of a sudden her name just popped right into my head. And I was like, whoa, did I just do that? Did I just stop and just blurted her name out? I go, yeah, you did. I was like, okay. Well, my throat is dry. I did catch a cold and I'm like, oh, just feeling terrible. And the only thing that really soothes it is really anything soft or tea or, coffee. Right now I'm drinking because I feel dehydrated. Because my cold's going away, but I'm still have that itchy, like sore, I don't know what you got, horse cough. So I'm just drinking a little bit water. The coolness kind of soothes it a little bit, although I am like really, really congested. Okay, so there was one other song that I always, aside from all the other little songs that I sing, and I think you guys will remember this one. I'm pretty sure you guys. I think I'm a little bit crooked, but that's okay. It's hard for me to fix the camera unless I get up and do it. It's not, it's not a phone. It's a literal camera. So, and this song it's also an oldie, but there's so many of them, and I think I remember one that was called, what was it? Something about a flower? I can't remember it, but it was something about a flower, I think it was. But anyway, I'll try to, Blowing in the Wind, or Vapor in the Wind. That was an old one. I'll try to find that song, and hopefully if I find it, I'll try to sing it for you next week. Imagine is also another great one, but that one came a little bit after. I'm talking about way back. And this one was a little bit back there, and it goes like this. Let's see. Okay, so there is power, wonder-working power in the blood of the Lamb. There is power, wonder-working power in the precious blood of the Lamb. There is power, wonder-working power in the blood of the Lamb. There is power, wonder-working power in the precious blood of the Lamb. I'm pretty sure you guys remember that one, right? And that was like, it was just one of the, but there's more words to it, but I really just know that part. But there is more lyrics to it. So I'm always singing those, especially like entering his gate with thanksgiving in my heart. His Ways Are Our Ways by Amy McPherson. And I just sing them like right after I say the Our Father at night, and I just sing all these songs right, before I go to bed. And it just makes me feel good. it makes me feel good that I know that I'm like sharing and praising God before I say goodnight. Okay, so we are on my watch broke, so I'm going to have to keep an eye on this time. Okay. So we are on Xerxes! So we are on chapter 10. And Samuel anointed Saul as a ruler. Okay, so chapter 10. Then Samuel took a jar of olive oil and poured it on Saul's head, kissed him, and said, "The Lord anoints you as ruler of his people, Israel. You will rule his people and protect them from all their enemies. And this is the proof to you that the Lord has chosen you to be the ruler of his people. When you leave me today, you will meet 2 men near Rachel's tomb at Zelzah in the territory of Benjamin. They will tell you that the donkeys you were looking for have been found, so that your father isn't worried anymore about them, but about you and okay, hold on. The page keeps flipping on the, okay, hold on. Okay, when you leave me today, you will meet 2 men near Rachel's tomb at Zelzah in the territory of Benjamin. They will tell you that the donkeys you were looking for have been found, so that your father isn't worried anymore about them, but about you. And he keeps asking, what should I do about my son? You will go on from there until you come to the sacred tree at Tabor, where you will meet 3 men on their way to offer a sacrifice to God of Bethel. One of them will be leading 3 young goats. Another one will be carrying 3 loaves of bread, and the third one will have a leather bag full of wine. They will greet you and offer you 2 of the loaves, which you are to accept. Then you will go to the hill of God in Gibeah, where there is a Philistine camp. At the entrance to the town, you will meet a group of prophets coming down from the altar on the hill, playing harps, drums, flutes, and lyres. They will be dancing and shouting. Suddenly, the Spirit of the Lord will take control of you, and you will join in their religious dancing and shouting and will become a different person. When these things happen to you, whatever God leads you to do, you will go ahead of me to Gilgal, where I will meet you and offer burnt sacrifices and fellowship sacrifices. Wait there 7 days until I come and tell you what to do." When Saul turned to leave Samuel, God gave Saul a new nature, and everything Samuel had told him happened that day. When Saul and his servant arrived at Gibeah, or Gibeah, I think it's Gibeah, a group of prophets met him. Suddenly, the Spirit of God took control of him, and he joined in their dancing and shouting. People who had known him before saw him doing this and asked one another, "What has happened to the son of Kish? Has Saul become a prophet?" A man who lived there asked, "How about these other prophets? Who do you think their fathers are?" This is how they say originated. Has even Saul become a prophet? When Saul finished dancing and shouting, he went to the altar of the hill. Saul's uncle saw him and the servant, and he asked him, "Where have you been?" "Looking for the donkeys," Saul answered. "When we couldn't find them, we went to see Samuel." "And what did they tell you?" Saul's uncle asked. "He told us that the animals had been found," Saul answered, but he did not tell his uncle what Samuel had said about him becoming king. Saul is acclaimed as king. Samuel called the people together for a religious gathering at Mizpah and said to them, "The Lord, the God of Israel, says, I brought you out of Egypt and rescued you from the Egyptians and all the other peoples who were oppressing you. I am your God. the one who rescues you from all your troubles and difficulties. But today you have rejected me and have asked me to give you a king. Very well then, gather yourselves before the Lord by tribe and clans." Then Samuel had each tribe come forward, and the Lord picked the tribe of Benjamin. Then Samuel had the families of the tribe of Benjamin come forward of the tribe. Then Samuel had the families of the tribe of Benjamin come forward, and the families of Matri was picked out. Then the men of the family of Matri came forward, and Saul said of Kish was picked out. They looked for him, but when they could not find him, they asked the Lord, "Is there still someone else?" The Lord answered, "Saul is over there, hiding behind the supplies." So they ran and brought Saul out to the people, and they can see that he was a foot taller than anyone else. Samuel said to the people, "Here is the man the Lord has chosen. There is no one else among us like him." All the people shouted, "Long live the king." Samuel explained to the people the rights and the duties of a king, then wrote them in a book, which he deposited in a holy place. Then he sent everyone home. Saul also went back home to Gibeah. Some powerful men whose hearts God had touched went with them. But some worthless people said, "How can this fellow do us any good?" They despised Saul and did not bring him any gifts. Okay, so we're going to leave that there. So I'm not really sure just what happened there. But let's see what the commentary has to say. Okay, I mean, it just seems like Saul was hiding. Like he didn't want to come out and be known that he was the king. First of all, Saul, even though he was brought up in a religious, family, his mindhead wasn't all there about it. He didn't care about wanting to be a king. I don't even think that ever crossed his mind. Like, what? Me? King? Yeah, sure. What are the benefits? And when he found out what all the benefits were, I'll take a crack at it. That was his, way of thinking. It wasn't really serious to him. But, you'll see what I mean. So in Psalm 10, so Saul was the chosen one. Saul could not understand how a man like him could lead the nation of Israel. So God gave him a series of signs to assure him for his new responsibilities. A leader, now I didn't read this, I did not read this beforehand, I'm just reading it right now. A leader must trust God to solve problems, to provide needs, and to give the power needed for service. He must know how to hear God's word and wait obediently on the Lord. Saul began his ministry in the strength of these assurances, but as time went on, he trusted more and more in himself and rebelled against God's word. His modesty in saying nothing about the kingdom and his self-control is not answering his critics are commendable. But what about the hiding on the coronation day? Was he genuinely humble, or was he unwilling to take responsibility? This much is sure. He did a great deal of hiding in the years of the leadership, but God found him out. As the book of the Proverbs warns, he who covers his sins will not prosper. So again, it's not like he really wanted to take this on, but God saw how he was, you know, and I guess, how can I say it? Like he was the best candidate. Unlike God just couldn't find nobody else. He was the best out of the bunch. So God said, let's do Saul. Let's go with him. So that's what they did. Okay, so knowing that, you know, he, like I said again here, like he was just doing things his way, not really following the book of the law. So, and that's not a good thing, because it kind of like backfires on him, you know, like not in a good way. Okay, so coming back here, like when God said, oh, they didn't reject Saul, or they didn't reject you, they rejected me. Now, back then, God didn't want anybody to have a king. He was already king. God was already king. But I think they wanted a physical king, like a king they can see. Okay? And in chapter 8, when the Lord says Samuel was displeased with their request for a king, so he prayed to the Lord, and the Lord said, listen to everything the people say to you. You are not the one they have rejected. I am the one they have rejected as their king. Now, Jesus didn't even die and wasn't even around yet. He didn't die and was buried and rose up from there, and one time it became, he already was. Okay? And he brought them out of Egypt. And he goes, Samuel told who were asking for a king everything the Lord had said to them. This is how your king will treat you. Samuel explained. He was telling the people, he will make soldiers out of your sons. Some of them will serve in their war chariots, others in cavalry, and others will run before his chariots. He will make some of them officers in charge of thousands of men, and others in charge of 50 men. Your sons will have to plow in his fields, harvest his crops, and make his weapons and equipment for the chariots. Your daughters will have to make perfume for him and work as his cooks and his bakers. He will take your best field vineyards. And the list goes on and on and on and on. And isn't that what our government does today? It's no different. Kings did what they wanted to do, just like Samuel. They were disobedient. They relied on their own, whatever it is they wanted to do. And it just, a lot of kings have messed up a lot. A lot of kings failed. A lot of kings were killed. But the Lord said, well, you didn't want me, so I'll give you what you want. And this is everything that you're going to have to do. Like God said, I think it was, I forgot who was the one that asked him, who should we listen to? Should we listen to Caesar, or should we listen to you because of the taxes, the taxpayer? And God goes, what coin do you have? And he goes, whose picture is on there? And he goes, Caesar's. And he goes, give Caesar's what's Caesar's, and give God's what's God's. And I don't think he said it exactly like that, but you know what I mean. But even till this day, we're paying taxes. And people are fighting out there that we shouldn't be paying taxes at all. Like, we shouldn't be doing it. It's wrong. But that's what the world wanted. That's, the Lord told them, this is how it's going to be. This is what's going to go down. And until this day, we're still going through it. We're still paying through that. So, regardless of who we have to listen to, and sometimes we feel like everything we're doing, all the working, the hours, and paying taxes, and doing this and doing that, is it worth it? We're not making enough, and not enough wages, or blah, 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 blah. And this has been going on for centuries. It's no different from this century to the 1900s, 1800s. People were still going through the same thing as we're going through right now. No difference. But But God says, you live in this world, you're going to have to listen to the rules. But there's another world. There's another kingdom. And if you become a citizen of that kingdom, then all you have to do is listen to me. And I'll make your way. I'll pave your way. I'll pave your way. And I will make sure that you become prosperous. Because he does tell us in that song I sing. His ways are better than our ways. His ways are higher than our ways. So if you have plans and you want to prosper and you want to be successful, listen to him. What do you have to lose? Listen to what he has to say. Because when you make a plan, you're by your will, Lord. You make a plan and everything like that. Okay, this is what I want. My desires, this is what I want. But I know if I make this plan, I know you can improve it. I know you can make it better. I trust you, Lord. I trust you to make my plan better. And he can, because he's God. Okay? So when you want to do something, don't leave him out. Share it with him. Make him part of it so he can make your business or whatever your journey, adventure, whatever you're doing can become what you want it to be. Because he's going to be right there. You go, okay, you know what? Maybe you shouldn't do it this way. Do it this way. And listen to him. Because again, his ways are better than our ways. His ways are higher than our ways. He knows how to get this thing done so that you can prosper. Sometimes if we try to do things our own way, most of the time we fail. Like we literally fail. But with him on our side and you're listening to him, you know, I can almost guarantee that your business or whatever it is you're going to venture into will be successful. Okay, guys, so I think that's all I'm going to leave you with today. But, yeah, there's just so much to learn. You know, there's a lot to learn. And so, yeah, so like a fish in the sea. So glad you caught me. And we will catch you next week on Faith Night Friday. Bye-bye.